This is a quick overview of the new changes to Google Forms. Google Forms have gotten a facelift, so they haven't actually changed the features so much as they've really just changed the layout and the look. So pretty simply, in the middle here we still have our questions. We've got title, the description that we can add, and then our questions below that. As normal, the same options are there to choose multiple choice, checkboxes, drop-down menu, the short and the longer answers, as well as the linear and the grid. Date and time are still here as well. On the side, you'll notice this is where I can add questions and then choose what type of questions that I want to add. I also can add more information in terms of adding here like a section header, just like before. I can also add images, pulling them in from Google Drive, or even just searching on the web. I also can still pull in a YouTube video as well, or section headers to add different pages, as has always been the case in Google Forms. You'll still also notice if you click on a question that the extra options are still there. So in this case, I can add this part of a hint text to help if I want to, or I can do data validation for certain questions. For example, with my short answer, I'm still able to say for data validation, if we put in a question, it'll allow me to ask for a specific email address, or to have a correct URL, or to have a certain number of characters, etc. On the top here, you'll see how to change the template. Here's where this is a bit new, but we can change what the color palette, as they're calling it. So you can simply change what the color of the style is. You'll notice this big color banner at the top is going to show up the same way when we see this as the actual quiz itself. I can also still add images, just as their most recent update has, where they have these different images, some of which are GIFs that are replaying over and over. You can include those if you'd like to, or bring in your own photos as well. You'll see how that goes at the top. And if we preview it, we'll see that that's what it looks like pretty simply at the top here. Also, in our wheel here in the top corner, we've got the same options we've had before, where you can choose what level people are able to access. You can also have them for their confirmation screen to see if they want to go edit their response or see the summary, etc. All those options are still the same. And finally, on the far right, where it says more, this is where I can make a copy of this. I can get a shortened URL, although it's not very short, unfortunately. Print it. I can add other collaborators, which is easier now than it was before to add collaborators. And then also report problems. Pretty standard like that. So that's the new forms. Again, it looks pretty straightforward. Last piece here is responses. This is where you'll see the layout of responses for your graphs that you normally see, which is a little bit nicer than having to open a new screen. So it'll be right here next to your questions. And you can also go ahead to create a spreadsheet if you'd like to, or download it as you please. That's it.